Durag diaries and changes happening at Tottenham. Quite clearly, a lot of changes happening. The first step was Donna Cullen leaving, then Vinay getting hired, then Ange leaving, Thomas Frank coming in, Thomas Frank's team coming in, Scott Munn leaving. Then you had Daniel Levy getting the sack. Now we're not too sure what's happening with Fabio Paratici, whether he's still hired, whether he's sacked. We don't know. But one thing I can tell you, Spurs fans, is this change is positive. This change is positive, as we have now seen a confirmation of a huge cash injection. A huge investment has been raised to put into the club. Now, it's not made to be very clear whether this is going to be used to fund our transfer window in January, but usually when these cash injections are made, short-term ones at that, it's usually to use quickly to reinvest back into the club. To give you guys a bit more details about this deal and what is currently going on, Spurs have raised around £90 million from a short-term loan through receivables financing a deal with the Macquarie Group. Now, this isn't something that is unheard of in football. Sometimes they go to banks for loans. Sometimes they go for finance companies. In this case, we went to a media company to get a loan where they'll give us a short-term cash injection and then they'll take that money back off from us with our broadcasting rights. Still, I believe it is that they're going to take a lump sum of cash back when we get our money from the broadcasting deal between the December of 2025 and May 2026. Now, the financing deal itself has come around during a time where there's been a lot of questions for Tottenham Hotspur with all these changes going on. Is the Lewis family really going to be football focused? Are they going to do what they've said they're going to do for 25 years? But now with Viv, Charlie in, the supposedly is the focus to be what's going on the pitch. Who focused on winning trophies ultimately. Now, this isn't something that is new to Premier League clubs, with Nottingham Forest doing the exact same thing a few years ago when Marinakis turned to them to get a £28 million loan in 2023 to help fund a player transfer. We're now going to have this £90 million that's going to give us a nice injection of cash and some lump funds to go into that January transfer window. I feel a little bit more comfortable with backing Thomas Frank, going out there, getting a player, whether that's a left winger, whether that's a striker, whichever player it is, just going out there and getting a player of real quality done. We know with Spurs, one of the biggest problems is in the January transfer window, we don't get the right quality of players to truly push on in the back end of the season. You look at under Mourinho, we brought in Jedson Fernandez and Carlos Vinicius, two practically unknown players at that time, to try push us into a top four race. That eventually got Mourinho sacked. Onwards from that, he did sign Bergwijn, but again, not that good. Onwards from that, under Conte, we brought in Dan Juma as one of our only signings in the January transfer window. And he came in late on in the January transfer window, pretty much at the back end. And again, just wasn't of the required quality. So yet again, Spurs last season done something similar. Brought in Kinski, brought in Danso, brought in Tell, players that nobody had heard of before the window. And then we couldn't push on the way that we wanted to. Ultimately, we did win the Europa League, but none of those players were key or pivotal to helping us do so. Now, in this January transfer window, we don't know what position we're going to be in with the season playing out, with Champions League still going to be playing and taking place in January. I think Spurs pretty much want to have an emergency fund there. So if we do get into a similar scenario like we did last season with the injuries, we can go out there and invest into the squad. Now, I am a bit confused as to how the most profitable team in the last 25 years, and that's across that window, not the most profitable by rounded up values just across that window. Who has the profit? Daniel Levy, we know Spurs were leading with £167 million in profits during that time. For the club to be that, the most profitable club, and still need cash injections, still need to raise funds elsewhere when you have billionaire owners, it is slightly concerning, because it does go to show you, if they won't put their hands in their own pockets to finance some of these deals, like you've seen the Cronkies do, like you've seen FSG do, like you've seen Todd Bowley do, then where are the ambitions for the club? Where do the ambitions lie? Because you would think that if you really want to back this club, if you really want to change from what Daniel Levy was doing, from the pure sustainable model where we only spend money that we've raised, then you'd think that you'd get your hand in your pocket, say, do you know what? I want to be ambitious. I want to win something. Take £200 million, spend that this summer window. £200 million isn't even that much at this moment in time spending in the window. We see the likes of Nottingham Forest, Sunderland spend near to those amounts. But if Spurs done it, even just last window, we would have went from spending 110 million to the 90 million gap. That whole 90 million gap is that. It's that. We could have went up to a £200 million window, signed 2 more players, give me a Lookman 45 mil, go get me another centre back for 45 mil. Would have been perfect. But hey ho, the Spurs way is always trying to constrain the budget, and just simple as, yo, Ghost is getting mad right now. In its simplest form, we are cheapskates. That is it. We are cheapskates, always trying to wheel and deal. And look, hopefully there is going to be a change with that, with all of these ownership changes, because that's what they've promised us. Vinay's mate come out, gave an interview, gave very, very strong talking points. I think one of the first times that the club really feels like we're going in one direction and everybody's all aboard that direction. It's very clear what the goals are. They're communicating with us very clearly. We've also just seen that we took the chief marketing officer from Arsenal, probably followed along with Vinay's footsteps. So we are going to be PRFC even more. Whenever we see Arsenal do these videos before the Champions League, damn sure look forward to Spurs doing those ones, people, because we are going to be doing that. But there has been change at Spurs, people. There has been a cash injection. And I suppose it's something for us to be happy about. It's something for us to be positive about. And people, does this mean we're going to have a huge January transfer window? I don't know. But I'd like to think so. I damn sure like to think so. You know what I mean? But make sure you're smashing a like on the video. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel. We're on the road to 5K. We're on the road to 5K. We're on like 4.4 right now. So almost on the last lap, pretty much. Once we get to that 4.5, we're on the last lap to this 5K run that we've been chasing for the last couple months. So I need your support. I need your help. Make sure you're liking the video. Make sure you're subscribing to the channel. Make sure you're letting me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Are Spurs going to spend money now? Are we going to be big business FC? Let me know how you feel. But away from that, can we please make sure we are supporting the sponsor of the channel, Man Like Match Bingo? They basically give you a card, a bingo card, during the games at a 3 p.m. kickoff. You can buy a card and it will give you all these different teams. If each of those teams score, you win the full prize jackpot. If you get one line, you'll get whether it's £5, £10, £20, depending on the amount of people that are playing. And if you get 2 lines, you get a specific amount as well. All you have to do is scan this QR code, use the promo code DRD to get a 200% depository bonus. It's fun. It's a lot better a lot less stressful way to bet. And like I said, you can compete against your friends. So scan the QR code, support Match Bingo. Make sure you're doing that to help support the channel. And look, people, until next time, it's your boy Durag Diaries, and Spurs are going to get doing big.